Morning all, how are we doing? Happy Tuesday. What day it was, huh? Right, let's kick off with news. How are you doing? Morning Ian, Pete, Christian, Mumo, Steve, Peter, Monkey, Evil, other Steve, Swissy collapsing. Don't know, we'll have a look in a minute. Beginia, Franco, Day Trader, Baggy, Gregors, Kenley, Themba, Cyril, Mark, Antonio, Martin. Is that everybody? It's time. Let's start off with some thumbs. 57 people. Probably only got about 5 thumbs. Let's check. 15. Not bad. Not 57 though, is it? Come on. Hit them thumbs. Yeah, so we got a big move on the pound this morning off the claimant count numbers. So the claimant count came out at 2.5. So, sorry, no, it didn't. That's the New Zealand inflation expectations came out at 2.5. The claimant count came out at 14.1. So the forecast was 15.2. So expecting, basically that's to do with unemployment, basically. They're expecting that to rise dramatically from 5.5. And it came out at 14.1. So in the grand scheme of things, it's a 1,000 miss on a forecast of 10,000, i.e. it's ever so slightly less than what they were thinking, but the pound has got absolutely nuts. So very odd. Anyway, so we'll have a look at all that in a minute. Average earnings index is up as well, so people are earning more money, which is good. The Swiss CPI came out at 0.2 on a forecast of 0.6. So that is quite a big deviation. That's a 0.4 deviation. So that came out at 7:30. So we've got some pretty big moves getting underway. We are not an ADR yet. If we look at the ADRs, we're not an ADR yet on too much, but as you can see, the Swissie's the main sort of mover so far. So CAD Swiss, big spike up, almost 125 ADR. Euro Swiss, same thing. We got 150 ADR, just shy of there. Pound Swiss, 150 ADR. Obviously, the pound moving as well with the Swiss franc makes it twice as big a move. Pound New Zealand, big spike there. So all the pound pairs having a nice little rally at the moment. So big moves across the board at the minute off the back of that news this morning. This pound move, though, I don't think necessarily is that impressive. It's ever so slightly less than the forecast, which is massively higher than we thought. So than we had. So that's a tiny deviation. It shouldn't be moving that far, I don't think, off that deviation. It's a little bit like this move that we had previously, if you remember. This one here, can't quite see it. We had that big move previously, and I said that's not that impressive. We shouldn't get that much movement off of it, and basically we just sat around after it. So it's a similar thing to that. It is bullish for the bullish for the pound, but not that bullish. So I don't think this will. We might get a day of movement out of it, but I don't think it's going to be a sustained move today. So RSIs so far are flat. We'll have a look at those in a minute, but the market's just about to open. So quickly whiz over there. I just want to quickly check this account out. 0.2. So yesterday, DAX basically didn't take a trade on. FTSE couldn't get out of yesterday. So I decided we got hedged basically by a pip. It should have been a TP hit, but got hedged by 1 pip. Nothing you can do about it. Got out of the shorts basically here, anticipating this being a bounce play to come up and retest the high of the session. We didn't get to the high of the session, which is where I was going to take that off. So the idea was to take a tiny little loss on that short, a break even on that long, and just wiped the day because it was absolutely useless, the price action yesterday. But it didn't quite get there. So small loss on the FTSE. No trades on the DAX yesterday. Long on the FTSE. No trade on the DAX again today. 120 on a 135 range. Range is too small pre-market, so not taking that. If you did take the range, you've broken long. And I've broken long on the FTSE as well. So we'll see where we go. This FTSE might be a bit erratic this morning, obviously, because we've had that news from the pound. There's going to be a lot of volatility in the market this morning. So we might get a decent break. It looks like it's trying very hard to do a decent break this morning, which is good. Almost straight up to 2R. About time we got a decent break, isn't it? Morning, Magnus. Morning, John, AZ, Rico, Astro. How we doing? Does anybody here trade with Blueberry Markets? Just out of interest. Pushing up. Morning, Senji. So DAX is whipsaw in the open. So target-wise today, obviously I'll be taking the 5-minute opening range break on the DAX this morning, assuming it doesn't put in more than 20% of its ADR. Upside target's very simple today. Upside on the DAX is going to be yesterday's high and last week's high, both within ADR. Downside target is yesterday's low and the previous day's low is ADR. So ADR hit to the downside and less than an ADR hit to the upside on the DAX. FTSE's a little bit more tricky because we've got yesterday's high, which we're tapping straight into. So if we hit target to the upside today, we're running straight into potential resistance. Downside, we've got that double bottom from yesterday. This is where I said, do you remember yesterday I said I'm going to get out the FTSE on that double bottom? And basically my TP was here, which it hit, but the spread didn't trigger the exit. So that would have been a beautiful exit for me yesterday. It's just yesterday was just every single trading condition that could possibly go wrong yesterday went wrong. Hedged in by a pip, missed target by a pip, came back up. You know, it was just terrible yesterday. It's almost like the market could see me and wanted to kill me. So yeah. I did till Maven Prop closed down today. Oh, another prop firm gone. Good evening, Dallas. I had two 50k accounts gone with Maven Prop. Never heard of them either. Why are you all using these tiny little prop firms? Use big prop firms, not tiny little one-man band prop firms. Maven Trading. Is that them? Easiest Forex prop firm to get funded. How can it be the easiest to get funded? They're all the same. Oh, look, they got a fancy slider. $600, $490. Only 4% drawdown. Ooh. Another one gone, have they? Morning, Gav. So yeah, let me know if you've traded recently with Blueberry Markets. I'm just interested to know if their trading conditions have improved because they didn't used to be very good. I'm just interested to see if that has improved. I'm just looking for an alternative broker. Right, FTSE's pulled back from this fake pre-market high, basically. So we don't appear to be able to come and retest the highs at the moment. We'll see what happens, but that's quite a big rejection to the upside today. Got 15 seconds left. DAX is going to be within range, so I'm going to take a 5-minute ORB on the DAX. DAX has got loads of room, so hopefully we'll get a clean break on the DAX and we can actually get a move up to target. That's ever so slightly too high. Moving that down, just with inside yesterday's high. Blueberry are just an introducing broker for ACY Securities Australia. Blueberry was good, but then Maven made the change to purple traders, and purple traders have just had their licenses pulled. Tried Blueberry's demo a few months ago, quickly dismissed. I think it was a combo of commission and spread. Okay. I don't mind if they're an introducing broker. I mean, no broker really has their own funds. They've all got some funding or securities company running under them. But I just wonder what the market conditions are like, rather than getting a demo, sticking $500 in a live account, testing it all, blah, blah, blah. It's always good if someone is actually with them and is happy with them, but it doesn't seem like anybody is, which was my experience. I used to trade with them many years ago for a very short period of time because it was awful. I'm just looking for somewhere that can, just another broker, basically. I need another spare. I'm mainly looking for one that will take American clients as well, because a lot of people contact me and say they can't get accounts with Forex, which is who I use, because they're in America. So we're looking for someone overseas that has 1 to 500 leverage that also takes US clients. That's the challenge. So I can advise people, basically. I see markets global. Yeah. Don't know about them. Right. We're running an inside bar on the DAX at the moment. FTSE, that's a big old range on the FTSE this morning. 190. So that's way above 20% of ADR. So might be a bit of a slow break this morning. Just want to quickly see if the FTSE, the DAX is actually going to move, or we're going to get another one of those days. So we did actually get a break on the DAX, didn't we, yesterday? I forgot. Yeah, we did get a trade on. It broke long, didn't it? But it missed my target by a couple of pips, and then came back and stopped me out for a break even. So, and then it pushed back up and hit my target. Yesterday was just everything that could possibly have gone wrong yesterday went wrong in the strategy. It was literally everything that goes wrong normally. It all happened yesterday across both instruments. One of those days where it's just like, market just does not want to pay. Not looking particularly exciting again today, is it? We'll have a look at the news while we're waiting. So rest of the news today, we've got CPI this afternoon. So this is the main, obviously, news event, is the US CPI. This is one of the most important figures on the planet. The inflation figure for the US. Forecast for the month is to stay stable, and for the year to be reduction. So if that happens, although that will come out as a green number, it's likely to have a negative effect on the US dollar, because if that inflation figure comes down very quick, if we get a 2.8, for example, or a 2.7, it's highly unlikely. But if we were, that would mean they need to get those interest rates down fast, which will devalue the US dollar. So this is going to be quite an important one today. It may do absolutely nothing. We might just get a whipsaw because we may get as expected results, in which case that doesn't give the market any clues. So we might go sideways, but that's 1:30 this afternoon. So be aware of that. Tomorrow morning, we've got the UK CPI as well. So that's tomorrow morning before the live run. That's forecast to go up, inflation year on year. So we'll see what happens there. But that's the only other news we've got this afternoon. We've had all the main news this morning. We'll look at FX in a minute. I just want to see if this DAX is actually going to move. It's not even ticking. Sitting there, just not doing anything. Seems to be getting hammered down a little bit now, but very weak open again. Again, yeah. So an inside bar on the DAX. We're an inside bar on the FTSE. What can you do with this market? If it doesn't move, you can't do anything, can you? It's just literally, it's like this almost every day at the moment. It's painful. Totally lost momentum. We'll come back to that in a minute. IC markets. So are you in the, you're not in the US though, are you? IC markets. I don't think IC markets take US clients. I'll have to check them out again. But from their X feed, Maven say they've moved X feed. Look at that, Mumo. You're well up with the times, aren't you? That's Twitter. From their Twitter feed, Maven say they moved to Blueberry from Purple and traders should log in again. Okay. Morning, Champagne. Morning, Chucks. Morning, Tom. Oh, Black Ball. Black Ball. Yeah. Don't forget to hit the like button, as they said. It's been very good to me. Cool. Jeff, no UK. No Sweden. Yeah. I'm just looking for someone to recommend to US clients. It's very difficult getting an overseas broker for US clients that's got decent leverage, a decent broker. I'm not going to be buying a Lamborghini at this rate. No. Now they sent me an email saying they're going to a web-based platform. Loophole, maybe. If it's a web-based platform and they're in control of it. It's manipulating price. They're all getting caught out. All these prop firms, they're all getting caught. All of them. And I think MetaQuotes are leading the charge on it, basically, by pulling their licenses. They're all being very, very dodgy. Therefore, MetaQuotes are going, you can't do that. And it's hurting MetaQuotes as well, don't forget. Yeah, pulling licenses mean they're not getting paid. They're not doing it. They don't do things like this half-heartedly. There's got to be a big reason. And I suspect MetaQuotes are getting a little bit of pressure from the Fed or other regulators. So IC markets don't allow 0.01 on US 30. Yeah, that's why I don't use IC markets. Good one. Good point. That's why I looked into them and had to get rid of them because they don't use micros. Why is a decent leverage? What is a decent leverage? 1 to 500. 1 to 200, maybe. 1 to 100, 1 to 100 at a push. Going back to the drug business. At what point would you take a break on indices? Can continue with the beating I had in January. I don't. The day you take a break on indices is the day it will have 5 clean breaks on every instrument to 5R every day. That's the day you'll take a break and go, screw this. And that is the day that it will all go nuts and make an absolute killing. You have to sit through the crap. IG don't allow micro lots either. 1 to 50 leverage is no good for US clients. You can't position trade with 1 to 50. Not enough. Right, just want to see if this DAX breaks, then I'll go and look at FX. FTSE's certainly rejected the longs, so it looks like it's a hedge on the FTSE. We'll see what happens. Okay, so short on the DAX, just. So 2R on the DAX today, literally is down in this propulsion, but it's not really a propulsion, it's just a V-shaped recovery, so you can kind of ignore this. It's just a bull move on the back of that bear move. So wherever, really, to the downside, either it breaks or it doesn't. And at the moment, it's just looking pathetic. This market is just pathetic at the moment. Only unregulated ones. No, they're all regulated. You don't get unregulated brokers. Well, you do, but I mean, if you're an idiot if you use them. But they're all regulated. They're just not regulated by the US. That's why you can get the leverage you can get. I'm not allowed to have more than 1 to 30 in the UK. I've got 1 to 2,000 if I want it available at Robo Forex. They're regulated by a different country. They are regulated though. They still have to go through regulation. They have to abide by laws. No open positions before CPI comes out. No, thank you. Don't know what that means. Yeah, you'll never. I mean, you can't be regulated by the US outside of the US. That's. I mean, same. I can't be regulated out by the UK outside of the UK because it's not in the UK. How about taxes in the UK? You have to pay them. Just because you trade overseas doesn't mean you get away with not paying tax. If you earn money, you pay money. That's how it works. Unless you go and live in Dubai or Jersey. Well, I can't afford to live in Jersey. Nobody over there pays tax, so they have big houses. Right, DAX is broken short. FTSE's hedged. So hedge on the FTSE. So we're going down into this mess again, aren't we? I have no idea. Leaving it at 5R. I really can't be bothered with the FTSE at the moment. It's doing my head in. So 5R downside ADR. We may get down there because of the UK move if that continues. Upside. We got yesterday's high, which is a bit too close really for an upside move. So I might go previous day's high. So I'm just going to move the targets to the upside down slightly, just within yesterday's high, which is there. Sorry, previous day's high, which is where we closed the day before. So that level there. So that's yesterday's high. We may well. It depends on obviously whether. I mean, look at yesterday's movement. I mean, we get the same day yesterday. That's where you want to sell it. I'm going to go a little bit higher though, because we have got a resistance potentially coming up at that level. Here. Yeah, we hit this level over and over and over again. Broke it and retested it over and over and over again. So that is a strong previous support, term resistance. So that would be my target for limit orders to trigger south. But if it breaks to the downside, we've got this low again. But if it breaks through that, we're going to flush. So I'll go for the normal 5R to the downside because that's ADR basically. DAX, hopefully, we'll get just a breakdown. 5R target makes no sense there, moving it up to ADR. So these lows within ADR, if we can get a run. Wouldn't that be nice? Getting a runner. Seems like a long time ago we had one of those. I found a better option to prop. M1 hedging. Market reversal at CA, 0.1 per trade on all majors. Yeah, you have at the moment. Wait until you get squeezed. Then you'll go, oh, that blew my account. Funny you should say that. Wrong account. Is that the wrong account? No, that's the right account. 1.21%. What's gone on there? Margin call. Fantastic. Seriously, you margin called me with 1 to 300 leverage, Robo. So you know that $1,000 account I said about yesterday? I set it up yesterday, started trading with it. That was sitting at 12% this morning. Now it's sitting at 1.2% because I just got margin called. So yeah, great. Can't even do this strategy. So this is trading M15H1. No, M15 M1 RSI extensions. And it was doing fantastically this morning. It was on target to do 25% today, but I just got margin called, so they just shut 10% of my profit back out again. This is why you need leverage. So we'll see if these can hit the target, but that just reduced down my size ridiculously so that it's not even going to work anymore. half an ADR, 306.15. I know, it's still right. Yeah, okay. So that's good, isn't it? Start the morning on a margin call. So yeah, that was going really well. So this morning, I put I transferred $1,000 into this account yesterday. This is a new, just a RoboForex Prime account that I set up. Put $1,000 in it. So first entry, banked $50. Second entry, banked, closed out at $30. So basically, it was up 10%. 5% this morning. It was up 5%. It was sitting in 7% profit. So I had 12% to bank. And obviously, we had the news event. So it entered a load of positions. And obviously, this has taken it over margin today. There's no margin available. So I can't do that. So what I was planning to do was getting in with 5% risk over half an ADR. So the account can't handle that. So I'm going to have to go in with 2.5%, which means I'll have to go into the VPS and change it all. But that will only take a minute. So it is taking new trades, as you can see. But that's going to get margin called again. I've got to be careful because that margin is going to vanish. So I just need to turn the VPS off a minute. One sec. We're one of those days today. I can see it. Okay, just turning auto trading off so it doesn't take any more trades than that. I'm just going to let those play out. I'm going to have to manually manage them for the minute. So I said we would stick $1,000 in basically an account and just compound it basically and just see how long it takes to double it. It was nicely on its way this morning, and then I came into the live stream, and now it's not in its way. Well, it is on its way. It's done 1%, but it was up 5%. So this account basically all it's doing is taking M15, M1 entries. That's it, literally. So they are extended M1, M15 entries. So anything that basically gets extended beyond the 75 level, yeah, we're getting in. Hence me being long. Yeah, so be getting in longs and shorts. Literally looking to target 5% per trade. So target is 5%, $50 a trade. It's a $1,000 account. We need 20 trades, then we're doubled. So we're just going to see how long it takes to do it. But as I've just discovered, I can't actually do that because of margin. So I'm going to need to reduce risk, or I'm going to need to reduce exposure, one or the other. Have to think about which is the best way to do that. Anyway, that was what I was going to come on to after we'd looked at FX. I lived in Jersey, a lovely place, only 9 by 5 miles. It has a road called the 5 Mile Road that is 3 miles long. I am half Jersey French, I'll have you know. My grandmother lived in St. Helier. Hedging on M1, that's fun. Is that M15 RSI on a 1 minute chart? No, that's a 15-minute RSI on a 15-minute chart. Have you already closed EuroCAD positions on H1M5? We'll have a look at that in a sec. I don't know. Can anyone help this poor guy buy a 10K funded account? No. If you can't afford a 10K funded account, go and work at McDonald's. Earn some money, and then go and buy your own. Run it on 1 or 2 pairs. Yeah, but which ones, Lunary? Which ones are going to get extended on the M15 timeframe? What if they never get extended for an entire month? Not going to work. Morning, Florian. Right. So let's have a look at FX. So we've broken yesterday's low on the DAX. So we'll see if that holds. ADR reversals. Let's start off there. So there's quite a lot of ADRs today. The news, obviously, on the Swiss franc and the pound this morning has started the rallies off. So we've got a few to look at. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. that was extended yesterday. So got into this one yesterday on the ADR 125 hit to the upside. Got out of the long from the previous day's 125. So this thing's like a lunatic at the moment. As you can see, the New Zealand dollar's all over the place. So we had a 125 ADR, a 125 ADR. We've done our ADR today as well. So really expanding volume on the New Zealand at the minute. So got in short yesterday on ADR extension, second entry taken there. We're coming down. So we're looking to get out somewhere. Target that propulsion gap, I think. Was targeting the lows. So that's a nice extension today. You've already had your 5-minute reversal already kicked in. There's the entry, M pattern, beautiful entry, short. CAD Swiss. So a lot of these Swiss francs, obviously, we're 125 ADR there. So be entering on that one as well. I'll be getting in short when we get the reversal. Hopefully that pushes up a little bit more. So the reversal is tighter and I can get in above 125. So that's nice extension there. Swiss yen also extended. Big drop on the Swissy against the yen. So that's hit ADR. Just seeing where the support is. It's tricky. This it's just a mess. The whole thing. Look, we've been sitting in this now for what seems like forever. Beginning of January. So we pushed up into there at the beginning of January, and that's where we've sat for the whole month of January and into February. So had a nice quick exit on that one. If we get down to 125, I should be longing it out of there. But we'll have to see what the market makes of this Swiss franc move long term. Basically, obviously, the CPI has come down dramatically. However, when you look at the fundamentals for the Swiss, they are only on 1.75%, and their inflation is lower than target. So it's in their interest to drop the interest rate down. However, we haven't seen massive movement when this interest rate has changed. So I think this is a kind of a knee-jerk reaction of people piling out of the Swiss franc in the anticipation of this dropping. They're suddenly going to realize when that drops by 2.25% that it doesn't actually do an awful lot because they're always running at those sorts of levels. So this is the safe haven currency. We use it as a safe haven because it's always got low interest rates. It's always got low inflation. Its GDP is always growing, and everybody's got a job. So we don't get a lot of fluctuation in it. The only fluctuation we get in the Swiss franc is when there is a conflict, a problem anywhere, we get money flowing into the Swissy because it's a safe place because of that. So I don't think this is going to be a sustained move on the Swiss franc, but we will see. It might last a few days. We had a very similar thing there, as you can see. We had a bit of a power up in the yen, all undid it. Bit of a power up, 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 undoing it. Bit of a power up. It's literally what's happening at the moment. The market is sideways, isn't it? So we'll see. So this is a good looking little long opportunity, but I would give it a little bit more room, ideally down into that propulsion gap or down into the lows at 125, 150 ADR. Euro Swiss, nicely extended. That's above the 150 now. Got entries on this one already, so looking to get out down in that propulsion gap when we get a correction. Again, Euro Swiss tend to move together. So when's the next news on the euro? Got Lagarde speaking on Thursday. Got any, have we? PMIs next week. I just wanted to see when the Swiss rate announcement is. I don't think we've got one forecast, have we? By the looks of things. There we go. 21st of March. So we're missing February. Is that right? Yeah, so we're missing February statement. So we got March is the next update. So if we look at the Swiss, where are we there? The Swiss rates. So the Swiss before COVID always ran at a negative rate. Yeah. And then we had COVID hit and they remained at a negative rate. Yeah, until we got to the 2022 when everybody started moving rates. So this one basically went up by 0.25, 0.25, 1, half, 0.25, and then they were going to put it up to 2, but decided not to. So we've been sitting there since June last year. So nearly a year we've been sitting at that rate. So all that we're realistically going to do, because we're never going to return to pre-COVID levels. No one's going to return to pre-COVID levels. It's just not going to happen. So what we should be expecting is somewhere between, I think, 1, maybe 1.25. They won't probably want to drop much lower than that. So what we've really got on our hands is 0.75% drop at some point, but not starting until March. So this reaction that we're getting on the Swiss franc at the moment is probably not going to hold for much longer, because the market isn't going to go, oh my God, they're going to drop the interest rates in over a month's time. They're not going to sell for a month into the interest rate because they've got no indication it's going to come down. So I think this is probably all just going to be a V-shaped recovery over the next 2 days, if not today. So all of these Swisses, I think, are good mean reversion opportunities, especially that one because it's obviously very extended. And just about to get a reversal again in there. You've got as well the pound Swiss. Obviously, that's moved very quickly off of the back of the pound news. We've also had the Swiss franc weakness, which has pushed that up. It's just shy of 175 ADR. So I will be taking another short on that one when we get a reversal alert, which is just about to kick in. So I'm just about to get short on the pound Swiss. Pound New Zealand. That one's up at 100. Not a great move on that. And US dollar Swiss as well. So again, reversal alert, literally in 3 minutes, you're going to get a reversal alert signal to go short on that one. Play it back down. Assume an A-shaped recovery. So lots of opportunities on those at the moment. All over the place. The ADR account's got into some pretty decent drawdown this morning. We're up to 17%. Look, 9% banked. Main problem is obviously the Swiss franc. So we were in drawdown already on the Swiss franc because of the Swiss franc weakness. I've got 2 positions on there. I haven't helped myself by getting overexposed with manual positions, as you can see. So yeah, bit of drawdown on those too. So going to need to deal with the pound Swiss and the US Swiss if this recovery doesn't start today. So we'll be getting into another position on that one. That's over an ADR, right? So hopefully we get that A-shaped recovery back down on these 2. If not, then it's going to need some aggressive drawdown control on those. But 8% or 9% of that is just those 2 currencies. And obviously CAD Swiss is now up at 3.5 because of the Swiss move. So need to be paying attention to these, but need this move to finish first. So just wait and see whether or not they push this further or what they do today. So banked 0.5% today, 1.46 yesterday. What did we bank this morning? New Zealand dollar CAD. That was the only one this morning. So that one, that was your ADR hit on Friday. It's Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah, straight back down into propulsion. So one exit today, and obviously nothing else to bank at the moment because the news is pushing everything. ADR reversals, RSI extensions. Pound Swiss is your only extension at the moment, but I think you'll probably find there's some more coming today. So this one's just got above the 80 level off the back of that news. It's obviously 175 ADR. We've already looked at it. So again, good mean reversion opportunity on that one. We'll be taking another position up there in a second. We'll say in a second, yeah. So about 10 pips down to get a reversal on that one. So that's your only extension at the moment, but there's a lot of stuff which is obviously getting extended. So if you go over to H1 and have a look through a lot of these charts, especially Swiss related, we're getting extended. So this will probably light up today, unless we just get this A-shaped recovery and this isn't really a move. So we'll find that out, obviously, as the day progresses today. So, yeah, lots of movement on those. The pound yen, I've got an aggressive drawdown control position on the pound yen and on the US dollar yen. Both of those look like they're going to stop out today. Yen weak again today, and obviously we've got this pound strength, so there's a good chance I'm going to stop out on these. These are both going to be pretty much 1% losses. So overnight, which is what I do every night, if I've got any aggressive drawdown control positions on, I remove the stops overnight so that we don't get swapped. I woke up this morning, it had already gone. So I put the stop on basically there. There's nothing I can do about it today. So I'm going to take twice as much loss on both of these aggressives than I wanted to. But not a lot I can do while I'm asleep. And you can't leave swaps. You can't leave stop losses on overnight because you'll just get spread. You get stopped out regardless of whether the price gets there or not. So, looks like those two potentially, it's difficult to tell with this yen at the minute, but I mean, it is still grinding up. We've still had nothing out of the yen. Radio silence overnight from Japan again. Traders pair wages on Bank of England rate cuts this year. Yeah, we know that. Just seeing if there's any other news. So I didn't go through the news this morning, did I? Japan wants to hold a summit with North Korea. Interesting. But that was it, basically. Overnight news. There was nothing else out of Japan. We had the PPI figures, but the PPI figures were actually positive. Well, one positive, one negative, actually, to be fair. So neutral. Yeah, there was nothing else overnight of any interest there. So TP1 hit on the DAX. FTSE back inside the opening range. So target 2 on the DAX. We've broken out of yesterday's low quite convincingly, and it looks like it's holding. So we're just rejecting at the minute and pushing back up. So hopefully we'll get a pullback and a drop today on that one and get down to TP2. Wouldn't that be nice for a change? So yeah, so the ADRs, RSIs, the H1 RSI is a wipeout this month, basically. Bank 2.17%, closed out this morning on, what did I close this morning? New Zealand dollar Swiss hit target off the back of the Swissy move. So that was the H1 RSI extension there from Friday. And target was resistance, which hit and bounced perfectly. So yeah, nice, easy in and out there, but not a lot of profit on it, unfortunately. Wasn't enough room. There's nothing else to bank there. Pound CAD is getting close. I mean, look at where we are. Yesterday's high and previous day's high and last week's high and these highs from the previous days before, which was a previous support on that day. What do you reckon? Staying in a range for another week? We'll see what happens with that one. But I'm kind of tempted. It's hardly any money, though. This is the trouble. Nothing's moving unless it's going mental. Otherwise, it's just staying sideways. So do you take that off there and assume that it's not going to get an ADR hit today? We've got the CPI figure for the US this afternoon. So if that US dollar CPI figure comes out as a negative, this is going through the roof because the Canadian dollar is going to drop. So there's a good chance we'll hit that today. There's also a good chance we'll be back down here off the CPI this afternoon. So I will play that by ear. I'm going to leave it where it is at the minute. It's in profit by a decent distance off the back of the news spike. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it. And then just before CPI, if that is still there, I'm just going to stick it down there and put it in the bank. So as you can see, 13% drawdown at the moment. That is all that, pretty much. So 9.5% of that figure is this yen, which I'm stuck in. I can't get out of at the minute. So not a lot I can do with that. Euro pound is obviously in a little bit of drawdown as well. It's only in 2.2 though, so it's not the end of the world. But these two, nothing I can do about them. The reason those are in big drawdown is because I've got aggressive drawdown control positions making up 2% of that drawdown as well. So fingers crossed. That's all we can do. Hope that the yen finds a little bit of strength at some point today, but we'll see. So that's banked 2% this month. Hedging up to 21.2% this month. Banked 1.3 yesterday, 1.07 today. Pound odd. So what have I banked today? Let's have a look. So far today, banked pound New Zealand. So that was 2 entries. One there, out at the highs. New Zealand dollar CAD, 2 entries, one there, whoops, out in propulsion. Euro CAD was yesterday, so that's what's banked this morning, so that's made up that 1% odd. Pound odd is also not far away. Got 0.25% on that. Got 0.25% on Euro New Zealand as well. So I'm just going to stick a trailer on that. So lock that in. And Euro New Zealand. Tricky that. I'm going to bank the Euro New Zealand only because this move is based off the Swiss franc, I think, which is what's affecting this one. We put a big old propulsion gap in there, but we've sat there now 5 hours going sideways, 5 or 6 hours out of this big, strong move that we had there. So there's a good chance that they're reselling this level. Obviously, we're selling straight into this massive buy. So we are stuck between a rock and a hard place. So whichever one of those wins, we're going to get a pop. But I've got 0.25%. So I might as well just stick it in the bank, because if it pops the wrong way, I'm going to lose. Aussie New Zealand. That's fine. Let's leave that running for a minute. So there's a few bits and pieces that I can bank coming up as well. New Zealand dollar, US dollars getting close as well. I'll give that the benefit of the doubt. Just going to put the target down. Whoops. There. So targeting that propulsion gap, that low. Just going to put a target on the Aussie New Zealand as well. Up at that propulsion gap. If we get 125 ADR, I'll take that off today. Okay, so that's all that's coming to fruition. So the only thing in drawdown that's getting a little big is the pound Swiss, obviously, because the pound move and the Swiss move. That's got sell onlys on at the moment. Why have we got no buys on that? Oh, because I took the buy off, look. Left a little bit on the table with that one. Never mind. So yeah, just need to get another position on that one, which will be going in. Oh no, this is H1, isn't it? Sorry, I keep forgetting. So we're not going to get a reversal out on this because it's all the way down there, but I have to sit in that one for a while. So you can see the DD is building on this. This is normal for the H1 hedging set file. This is normally sitting 10, 15, 20, 25%. That's where it lives, because it's always got negative positions on. When it's got a positive that comes off, you're left with nothing but negatives. Sorry, in this case, those would be the positives. That's the negative. So, yeah, as it banks tons and tons and tons of cash, it builds that drawdown up, and then it continues to bank, and it just keeps making money while living in high drawdown. So it's totally normal. But we'll see where we go with that. Because it's not doing automatic drawdown control, so I need to be on top of it a little bit and start doing some DD control manually, but I'm not going to do it until we get stuff that's sort of 3% plus. Right, there we go. We've got some profit now over here. So if I hadn't have closed out those positions on that margin call, this would have done a fantastic day today, but as it stands at the moment, it's going to bank about 7%. I already had 5% in the bank before it closed me down. Anyway, so I'm going to need to readjust this because at the moment it's running on the VPS with too high risk, obviously. I think the problem with this is, obviously, today we don't normally get this many M15 extensions, so this is a little bit of an anomaly. But the EA is basically set up to get... it's basically taking M15 RSIs of 25 and 75 with a target of 5%, but it's risking 10% over one ADR. So the idea is I'm going to look for half an ADR of movement, and then I'll manually close them out if it gets to half an ADR of movement. But it will also automatically scale in at half an ADR increments as well. So if something gets just over half an ADR and then starts to pull back, we're going to take a second position and position trade into it. But I think that's going to be too high. I don't think we're going to be able to achieve it. The whole point of this is taking A+ setups with massively high risk to compound the account. And as you can see, it works extremely well. But there's just too many today. There's too many CRSI extensions because of this move. So this is the Achilles heel of this particular type of compounding strategy. If you get two big news events happening within half an hour of each other, you're going to get absolutely tons of RSI. The whole thing is exposed on the Swiss and the pound. What have we had today? Swiss and pound. So that's the problem with the strategy. However, if all of these play out today, we're going to be banking, what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50% on the account in one day. Not bad. As I said, it's pure gambling. Do not try and make a living doing that. Right, let me just catch up on chat. Good £1 yen. Still coming down. Sorry, yes, Mr. Looney, have you closed your Euro CAD positions on H1M5? Didn't answer that, did I? Euro CAD. I've only got one. Just one long that we took here. There is only one. So no, because it hasn't gone anywhere, literally. We're 11 days now. Hasn't gone anywhere. Nada you can do with it. Manvik, $50 is like 2 months' salary. Sorry to hear that. I can't really help you with that. Thanks for subscribing, Florian. Welcome aboard. Just, yeah, as somebody's just said, just run a small account and try and compound it, really. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news and be blunt, but if you want to do this for a living, you need capital. If you haven't got capital, you can't do it. I would love to be a pilot. My eyesight's not good enough, so I can't. So I do something else. This is a business. Businesses require capital. Minpo, morning. Morning, Joe. Flashing nicely on the DAX, finally. I know. Would you believe it? It's playing ball for once. About bloody time. Yes, they're doing a dance. We'll find out the deal soon, I hope. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with these prop. I mean, just be careful with anything prop at the moment. They say like, the trouble with this is, with this thing that's going on with prop at the moment, is they say, let's say, for example, this is my prop account. Yeah. They say, right, make sure you close all your trades by the end of the day because we're changing brokers. Yeah, easy for you to say. If I'm sitting in 4% of drawdown, what you're basically saying is, can you blow your account for me because we're changing brokers? No, I can't. No. Sorry. In the same way that if you said, can I close my account now? Can you pass my evaluation? No, because I need 8% or 10%. They're not playing by the rules, are they? If they're telling you to shut your accounts down because they're changing brokers, that's their problem. They need to give you either your money back or they need to restart your account and compensate you by maybe giving you another account as well for free. But they're all doing the same thing. They're all getting caught. You have to ask the question, why are they doing what they're doing? Yeah, if it was a normal business, normal broker, normal operation, they wouldn't need to do what they're doing. There's something not right somewhere, isn't there? What it is, though, we'll find out at some point. But morning, Johannes. I know it will vary over time, but of the different strategies you find, do you find generally the hedging strat has less drawdown than the others? No, the hedging has 3 times more drawdown than the others. Much more. H1 hedging, do I have a percent to close? No. I'm doing it manually. Mark, with the H1 hedging strategy, if you're running at 0.2 for half an ADI, if you run it at 0.1 for half an ADI, it probably have more similar profit and drawdown to the other strategies. Yeah, it would. But that's not how it ran. I'm running it the same way as it ran on the VPS last year, because on the VPS last year, it made 148% profit. So that's why I'm running it with what it ran last year. I'm looking for 148% profit. That's my holiday fund. This account is my holiday fund, yeah. It's a 15K account. So if I can double it, there's my holidays paid for this year. That's the idea behind this account. I'm not planning on withdrawing from this one. Although, saying that, if the month carries on like it is, I'm going to have to. Because I haven't banked enough capital. Or I suppose I have. I've done three. Yeah, I've done 7 grandish so far this month. So, yeah, I mean, I might have to draw from it, but I don't. Ideally, I'd like to leave that running and just compound that, because that's how it ran last year on the VPS. It was compounding, so to produce that result. We will see. This year isn't last year. This year can be very different. This year might have a very different result. Might be twice as big. It might be a blown account. You never know. You've no idea. Every back test you do is based on what happened in the past. What happened in the past is never repeated. Morning, Neo. Fidelcrest doesn't do payouts to bank accounts, only dust. Should that worry us? Yes, if you haven't got a dust account. Yeah, basically. I have to say, if you mention the word crypto or you mention the word prop, it should worry you, because prop are being outed all over the place as criminals. They are manipulating price. They have been forever. Crypto is all manipulated by some foreign entity nobody knows of. Nobody even knows who invented the thing. Yeah, it should all worry you. Trade markets that have been around for over 100 years are based on fundamentals of major countries, and you can trade in your own currency or a known currency. Yeah, if you haven't got the money to do the job, prop is your only route. But bear in mind, you are dealing with criminals that have been proven to manipulate the price of the chart. So you have to be lucky to make money doing it. Fidelcrest are one of the worst I found. There's no leverage there either. How can you trade without leverage? Look at me today trading this account. This is 1 to 300 leverage. I got margin called this morning with 1 to 300. How can you trade with 1 to 30? You can't do anything. Not possible. But I wouldn't worry about it until you get to a point where you can get paid and then worry about it. But you've got to have obviously crypto to be paid. And that would worry me because I don't have crypto. Why are they only paying out in crypto? Ask yourself that question. The answer for me is obvious. They're trying to hide all of their financial activity by only using crypto. Does that make them a legitimate company or potentially more of a criminal company? Or shady? Shouldn't use the word criminal because nobody's been proven to do anything, have they? But got to be a little bit worried about it. Dropping off for a work call. Good luck, Gav. Funded engineers are giving everyone in drawdown a new account. Yeah, as they should do. As they switch brokers and everyone in profit, an extra 1% drawdown on their account balance. So everybody in drawdown gets a new account. Everybody that's in profit gets an extra 1% on their account balance. It's okay. Morning outro. Should be a red flag. Yeah, definitely. Bullshit about crypto. Yeah, it is bullshit. It's all bullshit, crypto. You're quite right, Ronald. Although you probably trade crypto, which, you know, that's why you're here, because you're not making any money. If you were making money, you'd be trading crypto. You wouldn't be sitting here watching me. Right. So DAX is a nice clean break today. This could go either way today, but we'll wait and see what happens. But we've tapped basically again into yesterday's low and the previous day's low. So that's Friday low, that's yesterday's low, and that's where we went to today. So that was potentially your exit today, although it's far too close to take an exit because the entry was only there. So option today really is a push up for an exit. And I'd be looking at resistance basically today, which is just shy of about 3/4 ADR and shy of Friday high. So that's where I'm aiming today to the upside. If it does take another run up and breaks that level, we're going to flush. If we flush, I'm just going for ADR. There's too many points on this where we could get a bounce. It's very difficult to pick a spot that we would end up and find some buyers. So we'll see what happens. But stuck in that one at the minute. Not a lot you can do about it. DAX obviously is broken clean. So nice profit on that this morning so far. And just holding to see if we can get a runner. So if we get down towards the sort of 4R level, close to target, I'm running a 2R trailer at the moment. So if we get down to this sort of level, I will drop it down to a 1R trailer just to lock in some extra money. But I'll keep an eye on that one. It may well just revert, but we'll see. So far, we've broken that low and it's holding, as you can see, look. So they've immediately resold yesterday's low as we broke it, which is good. So market structure looking bearish, so flag break short. And then obviously we're looking to come down and test ADR. So DAX looking good for a change. FTSE's also starting to look like it may be holding on the propulsion gap at the open as well. So this is where we started that sell for 20 minutes. They've resold it twice now. So we know that there's enough sellers to drive the market short. It's whether or not there's enough buyers to overwhelm those sellers today. We'll find out hopefully in the next hour or so. We'll have a look at this afternoon. So yeah, just keep your eyes on all of these positions on the Swissy today. I get the feeling that both of these moves for the pound and the Swiss may well fizzle out. Pound CAD's starting to come down a little bit. The pound yen is, I don't know if this is yen strength. Yeah, it looks like a little bit of yen strength coming through. It's only temporary though, so it may not continue, but could really do with some yen strength today. Crypto's a load of bollocks. It was, yes, it was great if you were in on it when it moved, but other than that, no one on the planet can explain how it works or who invented Bitcoin. So, you know, I might as well make my own up. Just buy mine. got as much chance of making money as you have with that one, because who's controlling it? Gambling. It's all gambling. This is all gambling. Everything's gambling, isn't it, really, at the end of the day? DAX is looking good because of the pound going up. Not the DAX, that would be the euro. The FTSE would be coming down with the pound going up. But that's what I mean. You know, this move on the pound, this pound Swiss is the wrong one to use because that's the perfect storm. But if you look at the pound move, this is a big move on a claimant count. Yeah, so we're only looking at claimant count numbers here, which isn't important. It is important in the fact that it's linked to unemployment, but this is not unemployment rate. This is people claiming. It's just not as important. It is an important number, but it's not, I don't think, that important. So we've got some RSIs coming in now. There we go. So lots of opportunities. Same as the ADRs, basically. If you look at the ADR dash, you're going to find the same stuff today. It's Swiss and pound related. So all mean reversion opportunities. So Aussie, Swiss, we've just got extended above the 70 level on the Aussie. CAD Swiss, we're above the 75 up there. That's obviously the 125 extension as well. So there's a good opportunity there. I'll be getting in short on the H1M5 on that one when we get a reverse alert. So down below ADR, I'll be entering on that. Euro Swiss, same thing, be taking the reversal alert there. Short. Euro pound has just about got extended. That's come off the monthly. Look, perfectly bounced off the monthly low. So that's your low from January. I'm just going to see if I'm going to get another entry on that. Don't think I am. Where's the entry there? No. I'm going to get another entry on that. Pound Swiss. So yeah, obviously pound Swiss short. That's nicely extended now. These 80-20s, as we know, incredibly good. A lovely resistance coming up on this as well. Look. At basically just over 175 ADR. So this could easily get sold out of this level and be, you know, a big drop from here. So we'll see what happens with it. But, you know, these 80-20 levels, we very rarely get extended beyond these levels. Yeah, undone. Those are the only two. We've had one here as well. You can't see it's behind my head, but that was a 80 extension as well. So 80, 20, 20, 80. Very good opportunity for entry when we get to these levels. These are your A+++++ setups. So that's pound Swiss. Pound yen is extended as well, just to the 70 level. Again, this yen's all over the gaff at the moment. No idea what the hell's going on with that. And US dollar Swiss extended above the 75. So that'll be an entry short. Oh, I've already got it. Already taken my short this morning on that one because we've had the reversal alert. But at the moment, we are not doing anything. So it seems a little bit more weakness coming through on the Swissy. So might get another margin call. So I'm going to need to adjust this account. I'll think about what to do with it. This is a little bit of an anomaly today. This is the thing that's like what I did yesterday, because I was looking, we spoke about this in a bit of detail. I can't remember if it was London or New York live room yesterday. And I was basically, you know, looking at the 15-minute RSI and saying, you know, it's not often you get an extension at this sort of level and you don't get at least a tiny pullback, which allows you to get into either a nice big trade or it gives you the opportunity to get it at break even to make sure that you don't take a loss. There's only really sort of usually 1 or 2 trades a month, maybe 3 trades a month on an instrument. If you skip through all the pairs, yeah, this is showing a month here. We're going back to the 17th of January. We're on the 13th of Feb, so it's roughly a month. If you look at most instruments, yeah, we had 1 opportunity there. We had 1 there and 1 there. We're just not sure, not even sure that was one, but that was. This isn't. Yeah. So there's 2 trades in a month. That's all you're looking for. What's happened today, obviously, is a little bit of an anomaly in the fact that it's entered into about 15 trades in a day because we've had 2 news events opposite direction, which has extended tons and tons of pairs at the same time to ridiculous levels. So I think this is kind of worst case scenario, wouldn't normally happen on a daily basis, would it? So I'm not quite sure whether or not to go, well, we'll just take this one on the chin. It's a bit of an anomaly. It didn't actually make a lot of loss. And that's the thing. So what it closed out was, you know, not a ton of profit. I just ran out of margin, but it's closed a load of stuff out in profit as well. So it's not the end of the day, end of the world, I don't think. But you can see how quick it changes. Look, I mean, we're sitting at 2.7%. We were sitting at 0.7 in DD, literally about 3 or 4 minutes ago. So we're trading M1 charts, don't forget. So, you know, we're out of stuff, you know, in an hour type thing. So, but it's just a weird anomaly today. So I might monitor it and leave it as it is for the minute. I'm just not sure if I turn auto trading back on, whether or not we've got, let me just have a quick look at how many extensions we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got US dollar Swiss, pound Swiss, euro Swiss, and CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss, US, euro, and pound. So I'm already in all the extensions at the moment. So it's not going to take any more trades, is it? Pound odd. Already in. So yeah, I can turn it back on. So I'm just going to stick it back on again. Just so that it can manage these positions and auto get me out of them. But on for monitoring, I think. DAX is looking good because the pound going up. Yep, can't answer that one. Do you think Bitcoin is going to have a major pullback? I've no idea. I don't trade it. I only trade things that move based on fundamentals you can control, or you can't control, but fundamentals that make sense. Bitcoin doesn't. Like I said, who owns Bitcoin? And if you give me a name, prove it. You can't. So what you're doing is you're trading something that is made of thin air by somebody unknown, and nobody has any idea who or why or what moves the thing. How could you possibly? You might as well go into the street and bet on how many birds are going to fly past. You've got as much chance of getting it right as that, because you have no idea why it moves. Why has this moved today? Fundamentals shifted it. The Swiss franc CPI figure changed, and the claimant count changed in the pound. I can tell you exactly why this has done what it's done, and I can tell you exactly why it's probably going to do what it's going to do next. But if Bitcoin did that, you can't tell me why. So you're trading something with no fundamental bias, controlled by an unknown entity. It's the same as binary options. It's the same as prop. Yeah. Why did that price move up? Why did that spread go wide? Because they pressed a button to take you out of your trade. How do you know there's not somebody sitting behind Bitcoin doing that right now, earning billions? Could be Elon Musk, for all we know. Some Japanese or Chinese guy invented it, didn't he? Then all these other coins suddenly come about that also have no fundamental control. So if no one can show me the mechanism of why something moves, I know why this moves. I know how banks work. I don't know who controls Bitcoin. Therefore, I can't know how the person controlling moves or thinks or works. You can't control that or know how that is controlled. You can't trade it, in my opinion. But there's nothing wrong with trading it. You know, you can make some serious money out of it. You can also lose everything. Is the reason you're using HL2 for risk calculation as opposed to close? What? RSI calculation is median. I use median. Always have done. Median is the closest to the TDI. So the reason I use the RSI is because of my experience with the TDI indicator. The TDI indicator uses a median RSI as its base. I've always used the median. Oh, yeah, HL2, yeah. So yeah, but that's what I've always used. Doesn't matter though. You can use whatever you like. Use the close. Look at the difference. Not a lot. Really doesn't matter. This isn't the right one to use. This is the one that I use. So today, this might be the one to use. Tomorrow, that might be the best thing to use. The next day, you should have used a weighted. Yeah, there's no right or wrong. Just choose one and stick it. This is smoothed. I like it because it's more smoothed. It's less jerky. But there is no right or wrong. Just use whatever you fancy, really. Franco, 6 years ago, I opened my first live account, $500. Took me 6 months to turn it into 2.5. Good job. That's a hell of a lot. Had all the guru kids telling me if you don't double your account in 30 days, you're a loser. Yeah. All the guru kids were selling you something, though, weren't they? They still are. Big Brother. Tammy, I don't watch Big Brother. I know what you mean. Just taking something else. Did that not just take another trade? Oh no, sorry, yeah. Swiss yen. Yeah, extended. This EA is different to the market reverse alerts EA in the fact that it runs off of a live RSI number. It doesn't run off of a closed RSI number. Again, there's a lot of trades I've realized that I miss out on because it will be down here, and by the time the candle closes, it's up here. You've actually got an entry. So I'm using live RSI rather than closed RSI on this particular EA, and it gets you into things like this. So we'll see whether or not that's a good or a bad thing. Had Swiss triggered me, and there is no reversal. You'll have a magic number problem or something there. Check your broker. I mean, check your data. I haven't got one. You may well have been triggered there off of that candle. Depends on your broker data, basically. Good entry, though. I'll be happy to be in that. Oh, CAD Swiss hedge. Oh, sorry, on H1 hedging. Got too many accounts open. I don't know which one it is. CAD Swiss. Yeah, there's no entry on that. Not sure. Anyway, it's an H. Well, it depends if you're using the same as me. I'm using H1. For the new 15-minute small account, what risk is it running at? What ADR profit target? Well, it's a stop loss strategy. I haven't got a stop loss running on it, but it's based on a stop loss. So it's running 10% risk over one ADR. So basically, it's 5% over half an ADR. Obviously, I'm just using the new position trading EA to trigger these entries. It doesn't do stop losses. But you shouldn't. I mean, it will take a second trade if it gets to half an ADR, but probably be margin called. It depends. There's so many trades on. I was not anticipating having 11 positions on at a time. When you go back and back test, the chances of you getting 10 trades triggering on the same day it very, very rarely ever happens. So today is a bit of an anomaly, which is why it's margin called. But yeah, it's hard. It's risking 10% over an ADR. So the idea is it's 0.5% over half an ADR, 5% over half an ADR. So I'm targeting 5% as well. So the target is 5%, which is $50. So if you look at this here, so that's the top. Get off. That's the target there. So yeah, that's what we're looking for, because we're trading 1 minute time frame. So that's basically 0.5% increase. I'm going to let the EA handle it because I want it to do it. What about increasing the funds in the account to avoid a margin call? I could do, yeah. But I'm not anticipating getting margin called very often. That was, like I said, it's a bit of an anomaly today. A Japanese kid invented it on his computer as his computer science homework. Quite probably, yeah. Somebody somewhere is sitting making an absolute killing out of Bitcoin. Literally, they are sitting on quadrillions. The richest person in the world right now is not the richest person in the world. The person that invented Bitcoin probably is, but you don't know who he is. It's some Japanese guy living in the mountains with some spaceship that he's managed to invent with all the money he's made out of Bitcoin. You wait, one day someone will fly off in a spaceship and be like, who's that? And they'll go, I made Bitcoin. And then the planet will die and he'll be the only survivor. Is the position trading EA still using a cross as a signal? Yes. Yeah, just literally uses MA entry. Very, very, very simple. Is H1 Hedge using Robo? Yep. The entries on the PTEA seem a bit more accurate. Only accurate if it goes the right way. Don't forget, this is trading M1. Yeah. So it's very easy to get accurate entries when you're trading the 1 minute time frame, because it moves up and down a lot. This is why this is going into profit quickly, and then it goes into drawdown quickly, profit quickly, because it's trading M1. It's trading algorithmic chop. We're just waiting and hoping that that last move gets a pullback before it gets a new leg, the same way as we always do. But I don't need much out of it. That's the thing. This is the idea behind it. This is why I thought I'd do it, for a bit of fun. Just to show what is possible if you want to compound an account. This is why people have been asking me, how do I get into trading? Have you got any money? No, then you can't. So you need money. So you're going to need to gamble an account up. The best way to do it is by taking A++ setups, which is what this is. If you go back and back test it. Yeah, these setups very rarely fail. That one there. Yeah, and you're looking basically for half an ADR's worth of movement, which in this case is 50. Yeah, 47, 42, 56, all of that. That would have been a stop out. That one. Got 20 out of it, and then it pushed, so you'd have been stopped out on that. That second one there, you'd have got about 27, so, and it pushed up less than half an ADR, so you would have got out on that move there. That would have taken 2 whole days, though, to play out, but that worked out. So the idea being, with this type of strategy, when you get sort of like 3% in profit on something, to stick a break even on it, because if it doesn't work out, you want to be out. It either works or it doesn't. It gets you that half an ADR move, or it doesn't. If it doesn't get you the half an ADR move, you're better off taking a break on it. Break even. But this EA is not built to do this. I'm just using this because I'm testing it, basically. But it does the same thing as I want it to do anyway. So we've got 3R on the DAX now. Look at the FTSE again today. So we got 3R on the DAX. We're getting a secondary bounce down here off of that area there, I guess. But obviously we are still bearish. So hopefully we get another leg down. Good chance of getting a runner on this today, I think, the way it's going. It's the first proper break we've had on the DAX for a while, isn't it? So hopefully it continues. But if not, I've got 1R locked in. So I've got 2R. So it's a 3R win on the day. See where we go. Isn't it a Brit? What, that invented Bitcoin? I've no idea. Nobody knows, do they? If we knew who it was, he would be all over Bloomberg and everywhere. Everybody would be interviewed. He'd have done thousands of interviews. You know, that doesn't exist, does he? The whole concept of, you know, mining the thing, it's not real, is it? It's not. You can't mine currency. Well, you can mine gold and stuff, obviously, and diamonds and things, but it's basically, it's Minecraft for trading, isn't it? The whole thing, and the fact that there's a limited amount. So who put the cap on the amount of Bitcoin? Who? No one can answer it. Is there a cap? Someone said there's a cap. Who told him? Yeah, I haven't looked into it enough, obviously, but you know, it's not real. And considering your views on using live RSI, would you consider the same on H1M5? Yeah, just use the new EA if you want to do that. It's to be tested. It's very easy for me to switch over. So basically, the way it works is it's actually not on a live RSI. Is it on a live RSI? This is updating every minute. Yeah. It works in a similar sort of way. But basically, it updates every minute because it's running on the 1 minute chart. This is not normal. Yeah. What I'm doing here, this isn't the sort of stuff that's going to happen. I'm not going to do this in real life, obviously, moving forward. This is not my strategy. But here, look, we had a reading of 25.1, 25.6, 25.6 again. So at some point on the last 15 minutes, this was down below that level, but the candle close was at 25.1. But because it updates every minute, what it's doing is it's saying every minute, take a reading from the 15-minute time frame and tell me what the RSI is. So at some point, it was down there, and then we got a reversal above there. So this candle here was the entry. So at that particular time, whatever that was, at 11:10, the RSI on the 15-minute time frame was actually just under. It's 25.16. So it would have been reading at 24 point something, because it's updating every minute. Normally what we're doing is we're reading the hourly candle RSI every 5 minutes, or you're reading the 4 4-hour RSI candle every 15 minutes. Yeah, so it just works in a slightly different way. A little bit more fluid, a little bit more dynamic. That's what I'm looking for. The market reverse alert CA is great. It does, it's done me very, very well for 2 years, and I'm not going to stop using it. However, I think there's faults in it that can be rectified because it's missing opportunities, specifically scaling opportunities, which you've seen me take manuals because I have to take a manual. And the problem with the manual trades is, as we saw on one of them, I can't remember which one it was, but you get too many positions on. Is it a pound pair? I can't remember what it was, but when I put a manual entry in the market, you can't monitor the manual entry all the time, so you end up getting into too close. Must have been on the H1, on the ADR set. So that's what I'm hoping it's going to sort of rectify, those times where I won't need to do a manual because we're just getting tighter entries. But the problem with that is you can get it a bit closer to grid trading in the fact that you're not waiting for a strong enough signal to the downside. So you can adjust that. So if we decide, actually, this is getting in way too quick, that's easy rectifiable, isn't it? Let's not use a 9, let's use a 20. Now we're getting in a lot slower. So you've had one signal there, didn't get one there, you got a signal there. So there's 2 signals there, another one there, another one there, another one there, another one there. But you switch it down to a 9 and you'll have way more. So it's adjustable. But again, there's no right or wrong, is it? If that thing had gone like that from that candle, that was the right signal to take. However, as it went like this, that was the wrong signal to take. So if you'd have used a 20, you still would have got in on that. Or maybe you would have got in on that, I don't know. But, there's a difference between that and that. 10 minutes, which is right, which is wrong. Depends what the price does afterwards, doesn't it? It really doesn't matter. It's just I'm trying to fix a few of the little problems that I've seen happening over the years because of the way that the thing was manufactured, which is nothing wrong with it. It's just I think it can do a little bit better. So I could use higher time frame RSI to assist in buying pullbacks. Yeah. Test it. Whatever you want to test it in the back tester. The largest amounts of services for Bitcoin is located in the Virginia. Good for it. Let me ask you this question. We have you are a Bitcoin holder. You spend all your money in Bitcoin. Yeah. World War III kicks off. EMP hits the US. There is no power in the US. How do you spend your money? I get my notes out and I can bargain for weaponry and I'm thinking Walking Dead. I can bargain for weaponry and food and petrol. You can't. Here you go. This drive has got $25,000 on it. No, it hasn't. This wad of cash is $25,000. The other thing about it as well, hacking. There's so many Bitcoin scams out there. There's scams in everything, obviously, but it's. If it was the future, Elon Musk wouldn't have dumped it, and he did. How does VPN work? Would one be using a remote server that covers your IP address? I don't know. Nothing to do with trading, VPNs, Franco. VPN is just another IP address you connect to the internet with, but you don't need it for trading. If you start using a VPN for prop as well, they will soon not pay you because they monitor the IP addresses that are trading. So if your IP address changes every day because you use a VPN, when you go for a payout, they go, Doesn't look like you've been trading this. Looks like multiple computers have been trading this account. That's against our terms and conditions. Sorry, I'm closing your account down. No, you can't have your money. Did you not read the terms and conditions? Anyway, they can get you. They will. Anyway. Right. I'll be back this afternoon. There's not a lot else to discuss this morning. We're waiting for stuff, basically. Waiting for stuff. Mainly, I'm waiting to see what happens with this US dollar this morning. My focal point. Because I want my payday. And it looks like I'm going to get stopped out, unfortunately, which is going to wipe out the entire month of profit. So basically, it's going to be dead. H1M5 this month. Not going to be able to make any out of that. Market's just not been right this month. So it has been right, though, for hedging. And it has been right for ADR reversals, although we're getting a little bit of heat on the ADR side of things now as well. 20%, look. A big drawdown. But I did see that last year as well on the ADR reversals. News events. But news events tend to get undone, so we'll see what happens with this Swissy and the pound today. Right, I'll be back this afternoon. Mumo, about Virginia, I think the point he was making is some other three-letter agency is located in Virginia as well. I don't know, because I don't know about three-letter agencies in America, because I'm in the UK. Yeah, quite possibly. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's all run by the government, the FBI, the CIA, the ATF. Trying to think of a funny three-letter one, but I can't. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. It'll all come crashing down at some point, I'm sure. Everything does. Right, so just holding the DAX short, holding the FTSE short, and we'll see where we are this afternoon on those. All right, so be aware this afternoon of news, 1:30. We've got the CPI for the US. Absolutely everything could get undone this afternoon. Everything could go chaotic this afternoon. It could just whipsaw and do absolutely nothing. So we'll see what happens with that at 1:30, and then we'll obviously analyze that as we come on the live from this afternoon. Anything you need, I'll be in Telegram. Other than that, I'll be back this afternoon and tomorrow morning, 7:50. Oh, this week, I'm not doing Thursday and Friday, by the way, just to let you know. So I'm going to be here today. I'm here tomorrow, but I won't be here on Thursday or Friday, taking Thursday and Friday off to do stuff. So, all right, have a good one. I will see you guys in the next session.